It's Ramsey Dewey over here at the Animal 2 location in Shanghai, China. In the last video, somebody asked me, what is this Captain America shield for that they saw in the corner? Well, I've never used it, but we're going to use it today as an actual shield. And we're going to sword fight a little bit. What does sword fighting have to do with MMA or kickboxing or boxing or any of that stuff? Well, I'll tell you. Here's a question for you first. When we box, if I'm a right-handed person, why is my left hand in the lead? Why is my power hand in the back? Well, here's another question. If I'm fighting with a sword and a shield, not a sword and a buckler, mind you, but a sword and a shield, why is my shield in the front and my sword in the back? Well, what's a shield for? Here, Tim, hold on to that shield. Have a sword. I'm going to use this pad right here as a shield. You notice Tim's shield is in the front. So if I hit, he can block pretty easily. Okay, that's one function of a shield. But what else does a shield do? Well, you can jab with it. You can be offensive with a shield. It's not just to block, to defend, to absorb damage. It's to inflict damage. Maybe he's coming at me with a sword, and I can move that sword out of the way. I can strike and defend at the same time. Right, there are many things I can do. I can bring my shield up here. You ever seen those Kungfu forms where the guys are in these really low stances and they have one hand over their head and one hand out in front without weapons in hand? It just looks kind of goofy, and you're like, why are they moving like this? That makes no sense whatsoever. But you put the weapons in your hands and suddenly this starts making a whole lot of sense. I've got this sword where it's useful. I've made myself a smaller target. I can go for the legs. Right. And suddenly these goofy Kung Fu stances start making a lot of sense. But what does this have to do with boxing? Well, the shield is analogous to the jab. The lead arm doesn't just hit, it also does parries and all these defensive, offensive movements to manipulate the other guy so you can hit him. Right. So here, let's spar a little bit. Ready? Like hitting the bigger shield. Keeps getting me in the ribs right there. Now, this is a drill I actually do a lot with students in boxing classes. We get I'm sorry to stop when I start talking, that's okay. We get, pool noodles for swords, pads for shields, and we just start sparring like we're a bunch of historical European martial arts nerds for a bit. And anybody who walks in the gym at that time is like, I thought this was a boxing class, what's going on? Except, this can teach you a lot of very important principles about fighting. Let's put them down for a second. See how much of this stuff carries over. Now, let's just go very, very light. Right? Now, if we're boxing, we're fighting, right? You notice the lead hand takes the place of the shield, right? I can move this around, make room for my sword to land. Many different ways for that. And the sword arm is not just about bashing and coming through. It's about making room for this, so I can hit him with that. Make room so I can hit him with the other one. that like 3 times right there. Anyway, the whole point of that, what can you do with a shield? Well, if you happen to have one, how about use it as a shield? And I can teach you a lot about how to use your lead hand defensively and offensively. One thing I really hate about video games. Let's talk about video games for a minute. Yes, video games. Video games where you fight with a sword and a shield, okay? How many of them work like this? When you attack, you throw the shield to the side, open yourself up, and then hack with the sword. You ever seen a video game like that? Now, what would Tim do in real life? If I throw my shield down here and I start coming like this, what do? He's going to kill me, without exception, every single time. Right? If I throw this down, I'm dead at this point. So, if we're talking strictly about sword and shield fighting, if I attack and defend at the same time, use my sword and my shield together, this often is a very wise way to fight. Right? At the same time, if we're fighting empty-handed, a lot of people do this in real life when they start fighting for the first time. They will throw their shield down when they're throwing the right hand. Oh, you ever seen this? Even professional fighters sometimes, in the thick of the moment, they will bring their lead arm, their shield down. They'll throw it down just like a video game character in their stupid games when they're throwing their sword or their right hand. Now, Tim, put them down. Now, if we're boxing and I do this, what's he going to do? Boom, he's going to hit me right in the mouth and knock me out and win a substantial percentage of the time, unless I'm a lot faster than him. So why on earth would you drop your shield when you're using your sword? What if I can use my sword and my shield together? One hand is going to live on one side of my face, one shoulder is going to live on the other, and that is going to mitigate a lot of damage. Right? So this is a really important principle. Anytime I throw a punch, any type of punch, you'll notice one hand is going to live on my chin, and the other shoulder lives on the other side. So technically I have 2 shields now. One here, and one here. Right? So why on earth, if you had a shield, would you drop it? Why would I sword fight like that, like they do in the video games? No good reason. No good reason at all. Again, instead of dropping my guard and getting stabbed in the throat, use your sword and shield together for maximum efficiency, the best possible defense and offense. Now the mechanics are going to be a little different in sword and shield fighting and in boxing, but the principles are virtually identical. Protect yourself at all times. Use the best possible offense and defense. Use your lead hand both defensively and offensively. Right? You can bash with a shield, you can block with a shield, you can parry with a shield, and you can do all those same things with your lead hand. You can do all those same things with your sword as well. Put them together, and then what do we have? We've got this magical martial art called boxing. Check it out sometime. Thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.